Hello, my name is Jamal Wally Childs Jr., and you're watching my docu-series. The name of this docu-series is called Sustaining the Heartbeat of the Chesapeake. In this docu-series, I'll be covering different success stories revolving around environmental justice, uplifting communities, and connecting people back to nature. Before I get into any of my success stories, the first thing I'd like to talk about are the federal grant programs that I discovered while working with the Chesapeake Conservation Partnership. And I had the honor of making a video for Fran. She works for the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service and has used my video in different conferences, but it makes me proud to know that it was at a specific standard for her so that we could even share it with people. Welcome to a special presentation on the Chesapeake Watershed and Investments for Landscape Defense, or Chesapeake WILD Grant Program. Today we explore the essential grant-making components of this program and celebrate the remarkable 2023 award recipients who are making a positive impact on the Chesapeake Bay watershed. The Chesapeake Bay watershed is the country's largest estuary and a mosaic of natural resources. Headwater creeks and streams flow into large rivers, intact forests, and forested riparian buffers, grasslands, freshwater wetlands, tidal marshes, and agricultural lands. Chesapeake Wild grant-making plays a crucial role in restoring and conserving these living resources. The competitive grant program is organized around 5 interrelated priority areas and responds to partner-identified need for coordinated action to improve the condition, function, and connectivity of habitat for imperiled and enlisted fish and wildlife, as well as contribute to the equitable access to nature and to enhance climate resilience and the readiness in natural and human communities in the Chesapeake Bay watershed. Chesapeake Wild encourages a holistic approach to conservation, recognizing that the health of the Chesapeake Bay watershed depends on multiple factors. The program places a strong emphasis on centering equity and justice in conservation planning and actions, ensuring that communities are meaningfully engaged in place-based stewardship. Partners are the foundation of this watershed-wide conservation effort. To maximize our collective impact, the service is working with Chesapeake Conservation Partnership and Chesapeake Bay Program, along with federal, tribe, state, and local governments and community organizations to identify mutual conservation needs and strategic priorities, and to facilitate collective action to connect work across the landscape. Chesapeake Wild is proud to be collaborating with partners to implement a new grant program that allows us to encourage innovation and leverage matching funds to conserve, steward, and enhance fish and wildlife habitats and related conservation values. If you're inspired by these stories and want to get involved in the Chesapeake Wild program, you are welcome to participate in the emerging Chesapeake Wild Partner Network, or Wild Roundtable. You can apply for a grant or encourage others when conservation ideas align with the program's pillars, or you can simply spread awareness about the importance of restoring and protecting our watershed's living resources. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. Margaret Mead. The second grant program I discovered while working for the Chesapeake Conservation Partnership is PADCNR's Community Conservation Grant Program. In Pennsylvania, nature isn't just a backdrop, it's the heart of our communities. And behind many thriving green spaces lies the dedication of the Pennsylvania Department of Conservation and Natural Resources. The Pennsylvania Department of Conservation and Natural Resources, through its Bureau of Recreation and Conservation, is committed to fostering vibrant communities through the Community Conservation Partnership grant programs. Grant applications are accepted annually, opening towards the end of January and closing at the beginning of April. These grants fuel a variety of projects, from planning and acquisition to the development of public parks, trails, river access points, and conservation efforts. Whether it's creating recreational havens or preserving natural habitats, the Community Conservation Partnership Program is a catalyst for positive change. Counties, municipalities, nonprofit organizations, and even for-profit enterprises are eligible to apply, ensuring that diverse voices contribute to the enhancement of our shared spaces. From the rolling hills of the Laurel Highlands to the winding rivers of the Susquehanna Riverlands, these grants empower communities to revitalize and preserve the places we call home. Driven by the values of conservation, sustainability, and community revitalization, Pennsylvania boasts 8 conservation landscapes, each with its unique natural assets and cultural heritage. Through strategic investment, civic engagement, and a shared commitment to stewardship, these landscapes serve as a model for sustainable development and community empowerment. Together, we're not just conserving land, we're building brighter futures for generations to come. Join the journey towards a greater, healthier, and more vibrant Pennsylvania. Because when nature thrives, so do we. This being the first video, you will watch the evolution of my skills in editing as we go from here to the last. My first story will be covering the Moulton family's decision to conserve 82 acres of their farmland to Milton Park. Now, you might ask, 82 acres, that's not a lot. But it's a really big deal when you consider the story in mind. See, Moulton Park was originally a 3-acre site donated to the Jefferson County Parks and Recreation in 1976 for public access and recreation. So much of that land has been given to conservation. And the big point is that it's not just conservation, it's a public space for people in the community. It's a green space. It's necessary. The family even sold the land as a bargain sale. In addition to the family's legacy of creating recreation opportunities and public access. This wouldn't have been done without the work of the key partners though. Key partners in the acquisition of property include the West Virginia Land Trust, Jefferson County Parks and Recreations, and the Chesapeake Conservancy Partnership. These partners secured the land and private funds to support the purchase of the property, and a significant grant came from the West Virginia Outdoor Heritage Conservation Fund. The point of the bargain sale means that the family intended for the property to be used for purposes that benefited the community and the environment. So, what makes this a success story? To me, it's the fact that the family decided to transfer their land over to conservation. It's a form of philanthropy. So this farm being open to the public is amazing for people. And it's even more compelling when you consider the partnership that went into this and the grant money that got allocated. All in all, it's a conservation win. 82 acres, 800 acres, 8,000 acres. Step by step, we'll be getting to 30 by 30. My name is Jamal Childs. Thank you for listening, and until next time. In our next video, we'll be watching something I put together for Lancaster Conservancy. Lancaster Conservancy was a special story to me because their job was very simple and worthwhile. Since 1969, Lancaster Conservancy has been steadfast in its mission to preserve vital natural spaces for both people and wildlife. In the face of ongoing development, the Conservancy's commitment to protecting carefully selected habitats remain unwavering. Today we're thrilled to promote the recent success of Mill Creek Falls Nature Preserve. Nestled within its 97-acre lies a sanctuary of natural beauty, featuring a 1/7 of a mile trail through the pristine forest. This trail seamlessly connects to the regional Mason-Dixon Trail, offering a gateway to exploration for nature enthusiasts. Additionally, the preserve offers a universal access trail, providing an 1/8 of a mile journey along a crushed stone path. This accessible trail ensures that visitors with wheelchairs, strollers, walkers, and other mobility devices can experience the wonders of Mill Creek Falls and the benefits of spending time in nature. The preserve's allure is enhanced by its diverse ecosystems, including upland forests, stair-step waterfalls, and 2 tributaries to the Susquehanna River. What sets Mill Creek Falls apart is its distinctive ridgeline, flanked by gorges of 2 streams that converge before flowing gracefully towards the Susquehanna River. Atop the plateau, a rich tapestry of mixed deciduous forests thrive, while the ravines below harbor a cooler, damper microclimate, nurturing lush rhododendron and towering hemlock. The site has become a haven for recreation and beautiful sights. As we celebrate the opening of Mill Creek Falls Nature Preserve, we invite you to join us in cherishing and protecting these precious natural spaces for generations to come. Together we can continue to safeguard our environment and ensure a brighter, greener future for all. And for the third conservation success story, you'll be seeing a video covering the Scenic Rivers Land Trust. The family had the opportunity to build high-end luxury homes, and instead they decided to use their land for conservation so that generations of the community around them can continue to use it. It's remarkable. In a county where development continues to chip away at our remaining open natural spaces, there are beacons of hope. stories that inspire us to protect the beauty that surrounds us. Meet the Scenic Rivers Land Trust, an Annapolis-based nonprofit organization dedicated to the preservation of natural landscapes in Anne Arundel County. Partnering with the Maryland Department of Natural Resources, they've embarked on a remarkable journey for conservation. Gary and Janet Garman are stewards of land that has been in the Garman family for over 75 years. Their deep connection and love for their family forest and small farm inspired them to make decisions that will benefit generations to come. They've granted a conservation easement on their 130-acre Crownsville property. This land, rich in history and biodiversity, could have succumbed to development, with 24 upscale homes potentially dotting its landscape. But now, thanks to the Garman family's vision, development is limited to just one main house and 2 guest houses. Our family has cared for and worked for this land for over 75 years, said Gary Garman. We love the forest, and we're proud to be conserving it so that future generations can enjoy it too. Within the Severn River watershed, this parcel of land is not just picturesque. It's an ecological gem. Its forests, streams, and wetlands provide an essential habitat for a myriad of species. Scenic Rivers Executive Director Sarah Nagel ranked the Garman family's property 8th on the list of the top 100 most important properties in Anne Arundel County. According to a prioritization analysis conducted by the Scenic Rivers in partnership with Chesapeake Conservancy's Conservation Innovation Center, the Garman property stands as a success to conservation. Sarah Nagel herself expressed her gratitude to the Garman family for their unwavering commitment to conservation. With funding provided by the Maryland Department of Natural Resources and the Helena Foundation, this conservation effort underscores the importance of collaboration between government agencies, nonprofit organizations, foundations, and conscientious landowners when it comes to protecting the environment. As the sun sets on another day, the Garman family's legacy is secure. Their decision to protect this land ensures that its beauty will endure for generations to come. Thanks to the dedication of organizations like the Scenic Rivers Land Trust and the Maryland Department of Natural Resources, conservation success stories like this one continue to inspire us all. You know, it almost feels weird to say that each and every one of these videos are my favorites, but they really have inspired me. We took a trip to Clearwater's head office and I met Susie Etter and some of the staff at Clearwater. Welcome to a Clearwater Conservancy success story. Their mission is simple yet profound: to conserve and restore their natural resources through land conservation, water resource stewardship, and environmental outreach across central Pennsylvania. Today we shed light on a significant easement finalized by the Clearwater Conservancy. Clearwater Conservancy has completed the proactive conservation of 300 acres of agricultural land owned by the Myers and Everhart families of State College. This initiative aimed to protect the vital Spring Creek watershed, restore the degraded trout stream of Slam Cabin Run, and preserve the iconic farmland that has been the cornerstone of the community for generations. For over a decade, Clearwater Conservancy has been at the forefront of efforts to protect their region's drinking water supplies. The Slab Cabin Run initiative represents another step forward in the scientific and strategic approach to watershed conservation. Upon completion of the project, Clearwater Conservancy holds perpetual conservation easements on both farms, ensuring the protection of the land, water source, and stream corridor for generations to come. A piece by Susie Etter, an ecologist with Clearwater Conservancy.
We are in central Pennsylvania in the heart of State College, or Penn State's main campus. And we are standing on the riparian buffer of the Meyer Dairy Farm. It's right along the growth boundary of State College. And this was really a community effort to conserve not only a really important dairy farm, but also our groundwater resources. This farmland happens to be on the groundwater wells that provide the drinking water to State College and the surrounding area.
Our community and our environment will mutually benefit from this effort. Protecting our drinking water supply, restoring the degraded trout stream that is Slab Cabin Run, and permanently preserving scenic farmland as a reminder of the modest, hardworking values that make up our rich agricultural history. Andy Warner, former president of Clearwater Conservancy's board. In partnering with Clearwater Conservancy, the Meyer and Everhart families have embraced a legacy of conservation, restoration, and protection for this iconic central Pennsylvania farmland. Join us as we continue our journey to safeguard the natural treasures of our region. Together, we can make a lasting impact for generations to come. The land itself has so much significance to people. I even had the honor to go to their Juneteenth celebration, and it was full of Annapolis natives coming, not only from Annapolis either, people traveling from all over the place just to get back to the beach and reminisce on their past. In the heart of Annapolis lies a place steeped in history, a place that holds the echoes of resilience, joy, and the vibrant tapestry of African American culture. Welcome to the Elktonia Carr's Beach Moore property success story. As we journey back to 1902, we find Frederick Carr, a freedman responsible for purchasing 180 acres of farmland on the Annapolis Neck Peninsula. Little did he know this would become the foundation of Sparrows and Carr's Beaches, a haven for generations to come. Fast forward to the late 1940s, Sparrows and Carr's Beaches had blossomed into a renowned destination for African American families. In the time of segregation, the beaches, as they were called, stood as sanctuaries, places of recreation and entertainment free from harassment. And what entertainment they offered. Legendary artists graced the stage, leaving a mark on Carr's Beach. The sounds of Sam Cooke, The Temptations, Billie Holiday, and many more filled the air, creating a cultural legacy that echoes to this day. But as time marched on, the popularity of Black-owned beaches declined, yet the legacy endured, embraced by the local Anne Arundel community and those who made the pilgrimage to this beloved destination. Through concerted fundraising efforts, Elktonia Beach, the last undeveloped remnant of Frederick Carr's original property, along with the neighboring Paulette Moore family cottage, were acquired. Together, these properties formed the Elktonia Carr's Beach Heritage Park, managed by the City of Annapolis Department of Recreations and Parks. Additionally, there are plans for the location to serve as the headquarters for Blacks of the Chesapeake, where the Chesapeake's Black history will be shared for this and future generations, further solidifying its role as a cultural and historic landmark. Today represents another historic milestone of the achievement for the 20-year odyssey to preserve the last vestiges of African American land situated directly on the shores of the Chesapeake Bay. The historic location of Carr's, Sparrows, Elktonia Beaches, and now the Paulette Moore family cottage represent the Black coast of the Bay, said Vincent Leggett, president and founder of Blacks of the Chesapeake. In the coming months, the city's Department of Recreation and Parks will develop through the community public input process a master plan for both properties. The overall plan will incorporate storytelling components about the history of the site, as well as a coastal shoreline restoration plan in partnership with the Annapolis and Anne Arundel County Resilience Finance Authority. The new park will be managed by the Annapolis Department of Recreation and Parks and will be open to the public. At its core, the preservation effort for Elktonia's Carr's Beach is a testament to the power of community, collaboration, and commitment to inclusivity. As we embark on this journey to safeguard our shared heritage, let us remember that the beaches weren't just a place. They're a symbol of resilience, hope, and the enduring spirit of inclusion. Blacks of the Chesapeake Foundation, preserving the legacy of Carr's Beach through conservation. This is a place of profound historical significance as it honors the influential African American residents of the area and showcasing the community's resilience. Welcome to Evergreen Cemetery in Richmond, Virginia, a place of profound historical significance and a testament to resilience of a community. Established in 1891, Evergreen Cemetery became the resting place for many of Virginia's most influential African American residents. Among them were Maggie L. Walker, the pioneering president and founder of the St. Luke Penny Savings Bank, and John Mitchell Jr., a passionate advocate for African American rights and the editor of the Richmond Planet newspaper. The tombstones, many designed by stonemason J. Henry Brown, stand as enduring monuments to their legacies. By the early 1970s, this sacred ground had fallen into despair. In 1975, volunteers from the Maggie L. Walker Historical Foundation initiated a restoration effort, striving to return Evergreen to its former glory. Their work was more than just physical restoration. It was an act of environmental justice, honoring the historical Black area that had suffered neglect and vandalism. Evergreen is the final resting place of thousands who faced segregation, discrimination, and racial violence, yet contributed immensely to the city of Richmond. During the era of Jim Crow, the cemetery's African American founders envisioned it as a premier burial ground for Black residents, a beacon of dignity and respect. However, in the mid-20th century, Evergreen and its neighboring cemeteries were targeted by an extensive campaign of vandalism and dumping, symbolizing the racial injustice of the time. Amidst this destruction, cemetery management struggled, and the once pristine grounds became overgrown and unrecognizable.
In private hands, held by the Ensminger family, who had owned it, maintained it, for as long as they could. I mean, again, the history of this cemetery is very much the history of many African American cemeteries across the country. Once you start, you stop disinterments or interments into the property where you're doing burials. Now you don't have those fees coming in, less funds, less money to do the maintenance, and just slowly it's just downward spiral. And so had hit the bottom of the spiral. And as you've seen walking around taking pictures, I mean, it was very much overgrown. I mean, you couldn't even see even 5 feet into any of these spaces that we're standing here looking at now. With the Enrichment Foundation, and they made an application to our Preservation Trust Fund, in which we were awarded them $400,000 for the original acquisition of Evergreen Cemetery itself. Evergreen kind of stood independent of East End Cemetery, which was still owned by the Ensmingers as well. About a year or so later, they made another application to our Preservation Trust Fund, and we gave them another, I want to say, $160,000-ish in order to do the acquisition of East End Cemetery. So that made this entire complex of this historic African American cemeteries one at that point, and put them into this nonprofit's hands. For a number of years, the nonprofit Enrichment Foundation, who, with support of the city of Richmond, had been working with the community to really begin to do the work that you see here, and develop a vision for what the space could be, of how do we honor the folks that have been buried here, and especially the people that really, these are the people that built Richmond.
Yet the descendants of those buried here never forgot. They always knew where their sacred spaces were. Park rangers emerged as early leaders, and since then, waves of volunteers have cleared brush and trash, restoring dignity to Evergreen and East End cemeteries. By February 2024, Richmond City Council passed an ordinance to accept ownership of Evergreen Cemetery and other sites, aiming to preserve and maintain them as historic African American cemeteries and public green spaces. Formal stewardship plans are still developed with ongoing consultation from volunteer and descendant groups. Thanks to the dedicated work of the Virginia Outdoors Foundation, the City of Richmond, and many other partners, Evergreen Cemetery is now under public ownership. The easement conserving and protecting this hallowed ground is in perpetuity, ensuring that it will never again fall into neglect or be subjected to vandalism. Today, Evergreen Cemetery is more than just a historical site. It is a place where people can reconnect with their ancestors, honor their legacies, and reflect on the history that shaped our present. Evergreen Cemetery stands as a symbol of enduring dignity and respect for the African American community. It is a reminder of our collective responsibility to preserve and honor our shared history. Let us never forget the significance of this sacred ground. Evergreen Cemetery will remain a place of reverence and remembrance, forever protected for future generations. Through these stories of conservation, equity, and community empowerment, we see the profound impact of preserving the Chesapeake Bay watershed. Together, we can inspire environmental awareness and advocate for a sustainable future. Join us in a mission to protect and restore the Chesapeake Bay watershed to its natural beauty. Your support and involvement can make a big difference in ways that are big or small. And mine particularly was through making videos like this. So I just want to take a moment to give thanks to all the partners who contributed to this video process, the script writing, a lot of the back and forth, the emails, the informational calls, everything that it took to piece this together. And one last thank you to the Chesapeake Conservation Partnership for allowing me with the resources, the time, the exposure, the space to work on this project. This is done by me, yours truly, Jamal Wiley Charles Jr.,